We begin tonight with breaking news right now in the Vandalia area. Now you are taking a live look on our ODOT cameras. This is that I-70 and 75 ramp. It is shut down at this hour. If you take a look in that top right-hand corner of your TV screen, you can see why. There's a semi flipped on its side. Now at this point, we don't know if anybody was hurt out of this. We do know, though, troopers are telling us that ramp is expected to be shut down for quite a while. So make sure you stay tuned here on air, but also you can find the latest at Dayton247now.com. Well, it has been almost a year since sports betting became illegal here in Ohio. The Ohio Casino Control Commission says about $100 million has been generated, and that's only as of October. Gwyneth Falloon has been speaking with a local racinos and now joins us live. So Gwen, what are they seeing?
Elise, I caught up with Craig Robinson, that's the president and general manager right here at Miami Valley Gaming, as well as Dave Schluter. He's the sportsbook manager over at Hollywood Gaming. Now, both of them tell me the past 12 months, they've gone smoothly and it's been a positive learning experience.
What we've seen is a gradual increase in new faces. So individuals, guests that lived in this area that didn't realize that brick and mortar sports books were here. They thought it was all online. When they hear about us, they naturally make it in here.
Now, Gwen, with more people gambling, have they actually run into any more issues then?
Fortunately, Elise, neither of the racinos I spoke with say there have been any major issues. However, the Ohio Casino Control Commission does warn that the number of people calling into the problem gambling helpline, that number has increased. So if you or someone you know may be struggling, you can contact that helpline. That number is 1-800-589-9966. There are also a number of other organizations with plenty of resources available, and we have linked some of those in the web version of this story on our website, Dayton247now.com. Back to you.
Gwen, thank you. And here's another issue that was happening. Actually, this was from earlier tonight, but this is a live look at this hour where 2 lanes of I-75 south at Needmore Road. Traffic is still slowly moving in that area after all lanes were shut down southbound just before 5 o'clock tonight. So this has been going on now for 6 hours. Crews have been trying to clean up that mess. This is what it looked like around 5 o'clock today. Now we do know, troopers tell us 3 vehicles were involved in total, 2 cars and a semi. Several people were hurt, but we don't know how many. However, we do know that 2 people were taken to the hospital, but the extent of their injuries is unknown at this hour. Of course, we're continuing to work on learning more about this situation, and as soon as we learn more, we'll let you know on air and at Dayton247now.com. A Riverside man will now spend the next 15 years to life in prison for murder. Cornelius Devon Brogan was found guilty on multiple counts of murder and felonious assault. That's related to the deadly stabbing of Scott Hanna last year. His family spoke in court today, as did Brogan, who apologized.
No words can adequately capture the depth of sorrow my family and I now endure, and no amount of justice can fully heal the wounds inflicted upon our hearts. Scott was not merely a brother. He was the embodiment of joy, love, and an irreplaceable source of strength within our family.
I'm sorry for this loss. I'm sorry for this whole situation in general. I'm not really sure what I believe in anymore, but my only prayer this last year has been healing for the Hanna family. I know how awesome Scott was, so I can only imagine the pain that you guys feel.
Now, Brogan was found competent to stand trial in April after pleading not guilty by reason of insanity. And the man found shot in the head in Springfield has now died on Christmas Eve. It's a story we first brought you as breaking news last Thursday. Springfield police tell us the man died at the hospital. He's described as a black man in his 50s. His identity has not been released. Police tell us they know who the suspect is, but they have not arrested them at this time. Of course, we'll update you as soon as we learn more. Also in Springfield tonight, a 30-year-old white man was found dead in a sewer near a 2000 block of Sturgeon Street. An employee of Springfield's sewage department was performing regular checks on sewage and rainfall lines there when he found the body. The man was taken to the Clark County Coroner's office. At this time, they have not identified him. At this hour, this man here right behind me is now sitting behind bars in connection to a shooting from October. 62-year-old Jackie Johnson is accused of a shooting that happened on Calumet Lane in Jefferson Township. Johnson is now facing felonious assault charges. And tonight, an organization known for helping missing or abused people says it is seeing an increase in runaways from group homes here in the Miami Valley and in other parts of Ohio. Today, Dayton 24/7 Owl's Lydia Bice took a deep dive trying to find out why they're leaving these facilities.
Today I spoke with the Doc Ellis Foundation, who says that teens who are in group homes here in the Miami Valley and across Ohio in general are running away more and more often. I went to Montgomery County Children's Services, a former employee of a Dayton group home, and a group home administrator to get to the bottom of this. Ivy Horn is a former employee of a Loving Heart Youth Services, which is a group home in West Dayton. She says that she thinks there are two reasons that teens decide to run: the conditions of their living situation and the fact that they miss their families. Michelle McCown-Luster with the Doc Ellis Foundation agrees.
Sometimes they get put in places they didn't ask to be in, and so they tend to run from those places because they're not being treated fairly at those places.
And while the amount of runaways is concerning for the Doc Ellis Foundation, a Loving Heart Youth Services says they've seen an improvement in the past decade. 13 years ago, Peterson says 40 to 45% of the teens they cared for attempted to run away, and that number has dropped to 10% today. I reached out to the City of Dayton's Mediation Response Unit today to see if they've seen an increase in calls to group homes in our area this year, because they take a lot of mental health or runaway-oriented calls alongside the Dayton Police Department. I was unable to schedule an interview with them today, but I plan to sit down with them and follow up on this story. Back to you.
Moving on to weather tonight, how things have really changed. It was really nice having that 60 degrees not too long ago. Now it definitely feels a little more like winter.
Yeah, a lot more like winter today. But you know what? Still technically above normal for this time of the year. We got into the lower 40s today, normal high upper 30s. We also have a few snowflakes back off to our west, and we'll continue to see the potential for some light snow showers, a little rain snow mix across the area overnight, but really nothing too significant. A lot of this activity back off to our west is continuing to fizzle out, but as this area of low pressure heads its way eastward, we'll likely see a few more rain and snow showers making their way in overnight and into the day tomorrow. For right now, we're in the 30s though, 37 in Dayton, 36 in Troy. We got 34 in Richmond right now. So we're all sitting above freezing. So if we do get any wintry precipitation, not going to be too much of an impact, as road temps are well above freezing as well. Eventually dropping to 33 again with a few rain and snow showers in the forecast. Little if any accumulation is expected, but I do have a couple more snow chances in the forecast. I'll talk more about that coming up in a bit.
The warm weather is causing issues for some local winter hotspots. The Mad River Mountain has yet to open for the season because preparing the hills is actually hard in this warmer weather. In a post to Facebook today, they said 27 degrees is that magic number in order to use the snow guns. They ask visitors to keep checking back for their announcement of opening day. Now, this isn't the only issue the weather has actually caused. In fact, earlier this week, the Riverscape ice rink closed down because of the warmer weather. The Supreme Court will now decide whether former President Donald Trump is eligible for the presidency after the January 6th Capitol riot. The Colorado Republican Party is appealing the state Supreme Court's decision to ban the former president from the primary ballot. This puts the state court's decision on pause until January 4th, a day before the state's primary ballots are due at the printer. And Maine's top election official removed former President Donald Trump from the state's 2024 primary ballot. In her 34-page decision, Maine's Democratic Secretary of State found the former president constitutionally ineligible to run because due to his involvement in the January 6th Capitol riots.
This ruling is a very strong ruling, and so we hope that this will be upheld and that his name will not be placed on the Maine ballot. If it goes up the line and gets to the Supreme Court, hopefully they will rule very quickly.
The decision will not be enforced until the court hears Trump's challenge. The Biden administration approved a $250 million military aid package for Ukraine. It includes air defense munitions, anti-armor munitions, and artillery ammunitions. It's the last package the U.S. could provide without congressional approval. The Biden administration has been asking Congress for more than $60 billion in aid for Ukraine, but that's currently stalled as Republicans demand that border security and immigration policy must be included in any deal. Israeli airstrikes continue to ravage Gaza overnight, claiming dozens of lives. Coming up, updates on the war crisis and the efforts to minimize civilian casualties. And flavored tobacco sales in Columbus are coming to an end in 2023. The impact of the upcoming ban and how local smoke shops are preparing for the new regulations.
Plus, I'm tracking some more winter-like weather. A couple chances of snowfall, too. That's coming up. Here's a live look from our Eco Plumber Skycam. You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
Tonight, big changes are coming for some Columbus retailers in the new year. Starting January 1st, you won't be able to buy flavored tobacco products at shops in the city. Kate Seifert followed this story from the very beginning last year. She shows us how city smoke shops prepare for the changes.
In the new year, starting on January 1st, smoke shops within the city of Columbus will no longer be able to sell flavored tobacco products. Columbus City Council approved the ban last year, saying that those flavored products target the youth community as well as the colored community here in Columbus. But that law only impacts the city of Columbus. We're outside of a smoke shop in a neighboring city, about 5 minutes out of the Columbus city limits. People can still buy products at shops like this. And that's frustrating for those shop owners within the city of Columbus who say they're worried about losing business because people can just drive a few minutes away and get those flavored products that they need. Ohio state leaders tried to stop the city of Columbus from creating a ban like this, saying that the state should be in charge of creating these policies.
State lawmakers tried to challenge the city's ban, but Governor Mike DeWine ultimately vetoed that bill, meaning that starting on Monday, Columbus stores won't be able to sell those flavored products. Reporting in Columbus, I'm Kate Seifert.
Well, a chillier evening across the Miami Valley. Got a couple of snowflakes flying through the sky just off to our west. We do have the potential for some light rain, couple of snow showers overnight. Nothing too significant for us as this area of low pressure heads its way eastward into the Miami Valley, followed by another chance for a few snow showers late tomorrow evening. So timing it out for you. This is about 2 a.m. Potentially could see some rain and snow showers around our northeastern counties, and then we'll continue to see some light flurries to maybe some light drizzle tomorrow afternoon. It'll be chillier tomorrow, only in the mid to upper 30s. By Friday, we will be tracking potentially a band of some rain and snow heading through the area. If this does head through as all snow, we could potentially see some very minor accumulations. We're talking a quick dusting of snow as that makes its way in late tomorrow evening, tomorrow night. Saturday will be quiet, and then Sunday, last day of the year, also pretty chilly with the chance for a few rain and snow showers as well. We'll have a look at our 7-day forecast coming up here in just a bit.
More Israeli airstrikes hitting Gaza overnight, killing dozens of people. The war has so far killed more than 20,000 Palestinians and pushed many from their homes. Much of northern Gaza suffered significant damage, and the southern part of the territory could soon experience the same treatment. Israeli officials say they're doing what they can to limit civilian casualties.
So we are trying to be as surgical as we can be in a very difficult combat environment. Now, once again, I stress, we don't want to see civilian casualties. And I can tell you my information is that civilian casualties are going down, and that's a good thing.
He notes Hamas does not distinguish between combatants and civilians when counting casualties, making the job of determining the civilian casualty difficult. And the number of wounded Israeli soldiers is expected to rise in the Gaza war. According to Israel's defense ministry, roughly 3,000 soldiers have been injured since Hamas's surprise October attack. Nearly 9,000 of them wounded since Israel began its response, and 160 have been killed. Israeli officials praise their sacrifice, but say the fight must continue.
Once we eliminate these terrorists, we eliminate the rule, we hope that there will be other voices, pragmatic ones that want to work with us towards peace. This is what we want. We want to live in this region peacefully.
So far, more than 22,000 lives have been lost since the Israel-Gaza war began. Prices may rise here in the U.S. as attacks in the Red Sea continue. Rebels in Yemen are attacking cargo ships with drones and missiles, saying this is payback for Israel's response in the war against Hamas. This is causing shipping companies to reroute around South Africa to avoid the conflict. Taking longer routes drives prices up for ocean freight, which includes pretty much all goods besides food, raw materials, and energy. And it has been warmer than usual outside, and scientists are saying this might be the hottest recorded year in human history. The temperature records from this month have actually not been finalized yet, but scientists say there's more than a 99% chance 2023 beat out 2016 for the hottest recorded global average temperature. It's said this is due to the buildup of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere. And let's take a live look right now from our Eco Plumber Skycam and send it out to Chief Meteorologist Natalie Walters.
Well, it's much chillier out here now on our Watson's weather patio compared to how we have been through pretty much the entire month of December. I will say we got a couple of raindrops out here, likely a little light rain and a couple of maybe snowflakes mixed in at this time. But even these next couple of days of chillier weather likely going to stay in the top 5 warmest Decembers on record. Currently sitting at the number 2 spot with an average temperature of 42.3. Will likely drop down a spot or two with some slightly cooler air over these next couple of days. But overall, it's been a very warm December. Next several days feeling a little bit more like December, though, with upper 30s, lower 40s across the area. Could see lower 40s for our Saturday, Sunday. But first day of the new year, highs will be in the upper 30s.
Coming up, a major change is coming to pharmacy shelves as a popular inhaler brand will no longer be available. What you need to know before it's gone. And a local woman has won $30,000 for her commitment and helping animals in need. Details about the heartwarming story next. You're watching Dayton 24/7 now. A local woman has won $30,000 for her commitment to the animal community. Donna Ruff was announced by Jeff Schmidt Auto Group as their 2023 Jeff's Hero. Donna is the founder of Ruff Rescue Transport, which is an organization that provides transportation for animals in distress to shelters and volunteers.
Freedom Ride means that you're picking up the dog and they're getting a ride free to a place where they're going to be free from, hunger, loneliness, abandonment, sickness, and hopefully they'll get some love and a good home and good families for the rest of their life.
Ruff Rescue Transport has helped nearly 15,000 cats and dogs in the area. Congratulations, Donna, from all of us here at Dayton 24/7 Now. Montgomery County Prosecutor Matt Heck's Arrive Safe program is back for the new year this year. It'll help you get home safely after a night out drinking. So here's what you need to know. The program runs tomorrow beginning at 6 p.m. through Tuesday, January 2nd at 6 a.m. You can get a voucher for up to $25 towards an Uber ride home. Just scan that QR code that's there on the screen and that voucher will be added right to your Uber account. And
as I always say, do you want to start and celebrate the holiday and start the new year off by going to jail in the backseat of a cruiser, or worse yet, landing in the hospital, or even worse, landing in the morgue? We want to make this hopefully a crash-free, a death-free holiday, and we want to start the new year out right.
Now, this is the 16th year of the program, which has given out 12,000 rides for Montgomery County citizens since it began. So here's that QR code one more time. Just take out your phone, open the camera app, scan that QR code there, just hold it right up to the TV. Yep. That'll pop up a link for you to tap, which then adds the voucher right to your Uber account. So please be safe, bringing in 2024. If you have asthma and you use an inhaler, listen up. Starting the first of the year, the inhaler Flow Vent made by GSK will disappear from pharmacy shelves. Physicians say an authorized generic version will take its place and works just as well. Doctors are urging patients to take action now to get new prescriptions if needed. Drivers can expect lower gas prices next year, according to Gas Buddy's projections for 2024. Now, the national average for a gallon of regular will drop to $3.38, down from this year's average of $3.51. If the prediction holds, that means the average driver will spend about $2,400 on fuel throughout the year, but there are expected bumps in the road, with Gas Buddy predicting prices to peak near $4 during the summer months and upwards to $6 a gallon in some West Coast cities and $4 in other areas. A story tonight from our partners at the Dayton Business Journal. The city of Sydney is looking to restore its historic theater in a $1.5 million project. I apologize. Over the past 14 years, Raise the Roof for Arts renovated the theater, including new seating, a new paint job, and bathroom upgrades. For the next phase, the city of Sydney is looking for $1 million in funding to help stabilize the roof and building exterior. This revitalization project is part of the city's long-term economic development strategy. We have all the details right now at Dayton247now.com. You can find this story plus others like it under the Dayton Business Journal heading under the News tab. Final preparations right now underway for the Cotton Bowl, wrapping up tonight, or next, I should say. Hear from head coach Ryan Day as the Buckeyes prepare to battle the Tigers. You're watching Dayton 24/7 Now.